Well, when the team came to Florida, it was right after Southwick, actually. I went there one day to dog pound, worked on the starts. But other than that, same thing. Super stoked.
Congratulations. We'll open it up to questions from the media.
I'm Mike Lantonovich with Course Heading. This will be for you, Garrett. In the mule with Mitch, you said 6 years, something to that effect. Really happy to give that to him. Can you just talk about how this feels? Because they mentioned on TV today, you've only had one podium in your career, and you have this today. And then after everything else that's been happening for you in the peripheral lately, how good does this feel?
It definitely feels great. I mean, through my whole outdoor career, I've never had a overall podium. I've never had a moto podium until basically Thunder Valley this year. So, I mean, I've always been super close, but to come back to the team, put it all together, start working with Tickle, it's just, I put in a lot of hard work since basically Texas, Arlington. So it feels super good to show all the hard work I've been doing is finally paying off. Wish it obviously would have happened way sooner in my career, but no, it feels great to finally get done for them, especially for them to give me another chance. Super thankful for that. I know I've said that time and time again, but yeah, no, I'm happy to do it for them and and for myself.
Aiden, in that second moto, obviously you saw Joe get the whole shot right away and then pull away. Were you trying to gauge yourself off of him, thinking that you wanted to maybe apply pressure for the overall win, or were you kind of settled for a second as soon as you kind of know?
After a few laps, I was just struggling with bike setup, and I was just like, it's not worth pushing. I'm here to win championships, right? So I was like, the best I could probably do in this moto today is get to second. So I put my head down and just, dug to second. I think Joe was literally two sections ahead, so I was like, it ain't even worth it. Tied on points today, so it was chilling.
And then Joe, this win compared to your win in Red Bud, obviously Hayden had some problems in Red Bud. Now you're facing a healthier Hayden, and you make the overall. How does this feel? How does this stack up?
I mean, win is a win, right? It doesn't matter who's in second. I think I was just trying to focus to win the moto, and yeah, same win for me.
Congratulations, all three of you guys. Josh Mosman from Motocross Action. Joe, can you talk a little bit about what changed on the bike? I heard maybe some gearing, transmission. What was different for you after the Honda team came and tested with you for starts?
Nothing major change. Just we really did one tuning, just one time. It was on point, and I haven't touched since after Southwood.
That's cool. And you've talked publicly about figuring out your plans for next year. How good does it feel to put Honda on top, and what does this make you think about for 2026?
Well, I haven't signed for any deals yet, but I mean, I'm riding really good right now, so yeah.
Pretty awesome to see, man. You've come a long way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And for Garrett Marchbanks, congratulations up on the podium. To shift the conversation a little bit, you knew Aiden Zing really well. We lost him a couple weeks ago, and a lot of teams and a lot of guys are running the AZ39 stickers on the bikes, and you knew him better than a lot of people. You got to train with him, with Brock Tickle, and can you talk a little bit about your experience working with Aiden and working with Brock Tickle, what it was like to have him around at the tracks with you and the last few months, and then kind of what it means, for you to wear the AZ39 and keep pressing forward with an awesome ride like this.
No, I definitely think of the kid all the time. I mean, Aiden was such a great kid. Nicest human being I've ever met in my life. Especially when I'm out there motoing down, if I'm having a bad day or, getting tired, I think of the guy. Knew he would always push harder. He always had a smile on his face. And if I was having a bad day, he helped me out, and vice versa. I mean, trained with him from day one. Great kid, definitely shy. I think he was starstruck to train with me and Brock. And for me, I always knew I never really had a lot of people around me growing up to help me out through my career. I definitely struggled with that and wish I had a little bit more guidance in my life. And I definitely wanted to just help him with that, with dad stuff, amateur dads, all that. And no, he definitely was a great kid to work with. Amazing human being. It was fun times to cycle with him, moto down, and even though he would get pretty mad half the time. It was pretty cool to watch the progress he made from day one to his last days with me. It was very amazing, and I'm very thankful to have trained with him and get to know his family so well. I still go visit them, and such an amazing family, and I'm very sorry for their loss. It hurts me a lot.
Well, awesome to see you up here on the podium and representing for him. My last question for the three of you guys. This track was unique, especially compared to the last three tracks you guys rode, a little softer soil, Redbud, Millville, Southwick. I asked the same of the 450 guys. What is this track, how does it rank on the roughness scale compared to the softer tracks that we just rode? And then also, I think most of you guys rode press tip yesterday. I know Aiden did. So the whoops were a lot gnarlier yesterday than they were today. So how were the whoops today? And where did this track rank on like difficulty versus the past few tracks you guys been riding?
Yeah, I feel like for me, I think each one's different. You know, Southwick is all sand, gets pretty whooped out, gnarly. Millville, Redbud are kind of similar in a way. I would say Redbud's more deep, gets pretty rough, same thing, whooped out. Here, I feel like it's a different type of tire. You get more tired because the track's so dang choppy, and it gets rough in areas, but I feel like the chop definitely for me wears me out more than, say, Redbud. You have to have a special type of flow on this track, not get tired out here, but for me, this was the best I've felt out of the last 4 rounds. Super pumped with that. Was struggling with some things with myself, so to finally figure it out a little bit, I was pumped with that. But this was probably by far my least favorite track on the circuit for a lot of years, so I was happy to finally turn around and get a podium on this one, so definitely a lot of fun.
For me, I think the track is really narrow in one line. It's not I think you don't really have an option to go anywhere. You have to stick with it, kind of. And like, especially, you know, coming down the hill after the drop, left, right. Yeah, you can't really do anything about it. You just kind of follow. So very rough though, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like Joe said, it's quite narrow. A little hard to pass when you get a great start, which I mean makes it unique. You know, keeps you on your toes. And yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they took those whoops out. Probably someone of the team complaining the same way they did at Ironman, take my jump out. But anyways, it's cool. Made for some good racing because people were blitzing and stuff, and doing that on outdoor suspension isn't always the easiest.
Aaron Hansel with Racer X. Joe, early aggression was really good today, especially in the second moto. I'm just wondering if there's anything in the past week or recently, or just in general, that you're doing to try and really improve that early aggression in races.
I don't know, like, I mean, during the week I try to put down some sprint fast pace, but yeah, like, I'm trying to, you know, find better early laps, which Hayden's really good at, actually, and yeah, I really need to look around and have better lines, I guess.
Garrett, you almost got Hammaker at the end of that second moto. Did he respond, or did you back it off knowing you had to podium?
I definitely tried to fight for it at the end. I think it was 2 or 3 laps ago. I tried to make a move. Had a pretty close one in the back. After that, I was like, you know what? I have the podium. It's my first one. I don't want to be an idiot and try to, you know, send it for third. I know it sounds kind of bad, but for me, I haven't been this close in a long time. So for me, it was kind of just, you know, take the small wins like today and, yeah, build from it. So, yeah, I just kind of mellowed out the last lap and a half and let him have it. Kind of, I wouldn't say I let him have it. He was riding great. So for me, I just, yeah, backed it off a little bit.
There's been a lot of talk about how many guys you passed just because of the starts, and I know it's not a stat you like, but I am wondering, passing all those guys, has that helped you has it made you a better passer and helped when you need to make decisive passes quickly?
I mean, I've been like that sadly through my whole career. I've been a terrible starter. I've always just been a super good kid, no matter what bike I've been on. I was known for that as an amateur all the way to the pros. Supercross has only been the only one I could kind of start somewhat well on because everything's not, you know, ripped super deep. So hopefully one day I could figure it out and just start up front so I'm not passing guys all the time.
I don't know. I mean, the first one was nice to just get a moto win, and I mean, I knew the job was far from done. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, winning the overall felt better. Obviously, it would have been unfortunate to come out here and not win after winning the first moto. So, but I don't know. Yeah, it was nice to get a win, and it's been a while since I've won a race. It's been since Salt Lake City, so it's just nice and kind of get that monkey off my back and go into the break and try and get better. I still got a few things I can get better on and get a little more speed. I was better today with speed-wise, even in qualifying, but there's still a little bit of room to get better. So I'm just happy to click off a win and go into the break and make some improvements.
Guys are showing Moto now. Eli, big improvement this weekend compared to last weekend. What's the difference?
Yeah, just different setup. Straight up, so different setup. Found something that I was really comfortable on, and was in the same zone as these guys. Like same zip code, was able to see them, so that was nice.
Is that a situation where you had maybe strayed away from the setup that was working earlier in the season?
Yeah. So what happened at Millville is before that I went and did some testing, and yeah, it's like it's on me. I'm like, hey, I think the bike's better, and then I take it to the race, and it was not better. So. And I take responsibility for that, for telling the guys, and of course, it looked faster like on the clock and stuff and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, it's better, and then it didn't work in a race environment. So it was unfortunate, but I feel like now that I was able to make some improvements from what I was racing earlier in the season. So I'm excited for the last couple.
Michael Antonovich with Force Setting. This will be for you, Jet. This was an NBC show today, so they hyped up a lot your overall streak that had been going on. And then, you not really gelling with this track like you mentioned on the podium. To lose the overall streak like you did, is that pressure off you now? Does it feel like, oh, this is good because it's not anybody talking about it anymore? Is it a little bit defeating, or is it a new goal? Like, how do you go through that, especially after the day started with you sliding out?
That's why I lost. They jinxed me. No, it's I knew Chase and Eli have been really good here. Obviously, I watched them in 22 and obviously 23. Last time I was here, Chase was on my ass the entire time and fast. So I knew this is my worst track of the kind of the circuit, and I just had to try and rely on my starts. And I got a bit screwed in the first one by the Spanish mate, but and then the second one, I was able to kind of wiggle my way back in the second. I was a bit slow on the jump. So, but no, it was. It's all overall, but I'm still happy with the second. I mean, Chase rides really well here. He was fast that first one. Just kind of tried asking for too much, and then once I got up, I tried getting into a flow again, and I wasted two laps where Eli was already gone. And like he was riding fast, so it was just trying to get that flow and try to pull in, and then I'd pull him in a bit, then would hit lappers gnarly, and then I mean, I've had a really good run. I mean, you can't always win everything, and winning always comes to an end at some stage. So we're still happy with a second, and be able to rebound at least for the second moto and get a race win.
If I could get all three of you to answer in the order that you finished, this was a great day. To see the excitement of the first moto, of how everything happened, the tension in those early laps of the second moto, the chaos of the restart, and then how that regrouped after that. Can you take me through how that goes for you guys, just being in the moment today, kind of getting a curveball thrown at you, regrouping, and going about it just through the day?
Yeah, well, first moto I didn't really eat any roost. It was nice being out front for once. Second moto I ate a lot of roosts for the first few laps, and I didn't like it at all. I ended up getting around Hunter, and then I got back to the start line and they said, oh, you're in third. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. I got to pass him again. So I don't know. This track is really hard to follow somebody just because you don't want to sit there in their wheel because it's like getting hit with a paintball gun for 30 minutes. So it's a little bit, you have to be a little more creative and kind of plan your attacks and try and execute where you're faster. But yeah, first few laps of the first start was pretty hectic. Jet and I had a pretty good battle going, and then yeah, obviously that guy went down, which I hope he's okay because that's a pretty fast area. But yeah, the restart was wild. It kind of jumped the gate, and it was, I think it's better than a staggered though.
On the restart, I was just surprised Starling didn't get clipped. That was the biggest thing. I thought he was going to get smoked at one stage. But no, it was like Chase said, the first moto was really good. Like he had a high intensity and we both were pushing hard, and we had a good battle going, and even in the second one as well. And it was fun, you know. Like it's always good to have. Obviously, winning by a large margin is always great, but then having really good battles is also fun, you know. Like where this track's pretty one-line, but like you can kind of get a little creative, especially when it's not so many like certain ruts that you have to hit, you know. So it creates some fun racing every now and then. Yeah, like Chase said, I hope that guy's obviously okay after those whoops, because they were watered pretty wet in the second one. They were slick, but yeah, I kind of forgot what the question mainly was about, but that's just kind of the Chases.
I mean, I ate plenty of roost today, and in the first moto, I had a rock hit me before the big triple, and I'm like, that may have just broke my collarbone. It was bad. I'm not sure. I forget who was in front of me, whether it be Chase or Jet. But yeah, first moto was good there, and then that restart was tough. You just don't know when you're going to go, and you're trying to stay in the zone and whatnot, so it's hard. And with that being said, it is a little bit sketchy, like with how the AMA guy runs across the start, but for the restart itself, I do like it more than the staggered straight line. Just my opinion on that. So yeah.
Aaron Hans with Racer X. This is for Chase. Chase, in that second moto, you were attacking at first, but then it seemed like you settled in. Was that a conscious decision to settle in to make sure you brought it home for the overall?
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good pace going, and obviously Eli was right there, so I didn't really have any room to kind of back off. And then Jet started upping the pace, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try and go with him and just see what we can do. And then we started to get a little gap, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, especially on this track, when you're going up against somebody as good as him, like it's going to be hard to even think of a place to make a pass. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to just kind of cruise back and try and bring her home. It'd be stupid to. I've done that once this year in Dallas, trying to go for a win when I didn't need to, and made myself look like an idiot. So I'm like, yeah, today I'm probably not going to try and do that.
Obviously, you come back with the goal of winning, which you did today. Would you say you're on schedule, ahead of schedule, behind schedule?
I would say like this track I do enjoy. I think it's unique, and I would say I'm a little bit ahead of schedule. I mean, last week I got beat by 48 seconds second moto, so I feel like that was a pretty big bridge to gap. But I knew coming in here, I made a lot of bike changes this week with the whole rear end of my bike, and they were quite a bit better. I had a really good day on Wednesday, and I'm like, okay, like kind of getting back to where I feel like I can compete for at least a race win. Yeah, I feel like I'm a little ahead of schedule. I mean, my whole goal is to get myself to where I feel like I'm ready to go after the SMX, and that's kind of why I came back when I did. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a little ahead of schedule, but again, at any time, there's so many good guys that when you feel like you're on, you kind of have to make it work. So I feel like that was today.